With workers in Egypt face a huge challenge with political upheaval and turmoil in the streets. What to do to keep the company's workers safe? We're going to bring in Paula Caligiuri. She's a human resource manager professor at Rutgers who specializes in management of employees assigned overseas, joining us from New York. Thanks for joining us, Paula. First of all, maybe just explain to us what kind of Americans are in Egypt by and large. Is it one industry or multiple industries?
Well, there's certainly workers from all of the industries represented in Egypt right now. But what's interesting is there's different types of employees. There's certain people who are called expatriates or international assignees, and there's probably about 30,000 of them right now working in Egypt. There's also short-term assignees. These are people who probably didn't bring their families and their children, but they're probably living in longer-term housing. And then, of course, there's business travelers, all of the folks who are there just on business trips. So lots of people. Yeah, I know from our own people there are procedures that CNN follows. There are things to do, things not to do when this happens. What should workers be doing, or what do businesses do for their workers when turmoil like this occurs? Sure. Most companies are very mature in this regard, and they have incredible safety precautions in place. They have crisis management teams that work directly with their senior management leaders that will put in their kind of likely responses depending on the level of risk. So the big thing right now, I think, for what I'm seeing with organizations currently, is they're trying to assess the real level of risk and trying to make sure they're getting the best possible information to respond accordingly. So if you think about, whether they need to be just making sure their employees are home safe, maybe suspending operations for a while, or ramping it all the way up to evacuating employees. We're probably not quite there yet, but certainly making sure employees are safe right now is critical. Yeah. Paula, we had somebody on from the State Department earlier talking about the tourists. Obviously, tourists are not usually in these kind of situations and are frustrated. But in the first few days of a crisis like this, it seems that the best thing to do, the safest thing to do, is not to try to get out of the country, but just to remain where you are, remain safe, and stay indoors. I'm wondering, at what point, though, do the companies have to put in place the next step, which is we need to get these people out of there? Right. I think what we're seeing, Drew, is exactly that right now. Many of the companies that I've been speaking with are maybe suspending operations for a while. Certainly, they're in constant communication with their employees. They're making sure that they know where all of their employees are and have updated contact information. They're encouraging people, exactly as you said, to stay home or stay in a safe location. Right now, they're not quite up to the point of evacuating, but airports are open, and I promise you that those plans are in place. If need be, they will execute on those plans. All right, Paula Caligiuri from Rutgers University. Appreciate you coming on this Sunday afternoon, speaking to us about this. Thank you so much. The U.S. walking a delicate line on the uprising in Egypt.